Are you? Welcome to my Facebook Live. Karen Barno here. I just wanted to talk to you really quick of, it is what it is. And I know that's a deep, profound thinking. My camera's awfully low. What I mean is, everything goes according to universal time. And although we want to rush universal time because that's how we are as Americans and as really not even as Americans, as human beings, you can't always rush universal time. And I say that because my book is still being edited. And instead of just editing it, instead of proofreading it and then sending that to me and then going back with the content, they're doing it all at the same time, which I couldn't be happier about. Because that means instead of proofing, me looking at it, editing, me looking at it, it condenses the window down. However, instead of getting it back Friday or Monday, it's still going to be longer. And I sat there for a second and thought, but it's okay. Because everything is universally timed. You are exactly where you are at the moment you're supposed to be there. And as long as you can understand that and accept it, it makes things so much easier. So for me to rush the process and say, okay, hurry up, I really want it Friday, I really want it Monday, chop, 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 chop. There's an increase is an incident as for Holly Matson, who's doing my proofing, Light Seed for Your Soul, I think. But anyway, Holly Matson, Matson, look her up on Facebook, she's fantastic. There's a chance for her, if I'm pressuring her, to make mistakes. And I certainly don't want mistakes in a book, and she really doesn't want mistakes in the book. If I pressure her, then maybe on the next step, when I send it, when it goes into production to get printed, there's mistakes. Or in printing, there's delays. The book is supposed to come out when it's supposed to come out. You're supposed to meet the perfect person when you meet them. You're supposed to have the perfect job when you're supposed to have the perfect job. You're supposed to get to your next destination when you're supposed to get to your next destination. And by hurrying it or rushing it, all you're doing is creating delays somewhere else. And I know that is so hard as human beings to accept. I remember I went to a retreat, 4 years ago, up in Prescott. Now I go to Prescott all the time. All the time. I know to get off. I know where the 69 split is. Right by the McDonald's. You get off, you go left, and you take off. So I'm driving people to the retreat. They want to ride with me, and I get lost. I get so lost. It took us an hour and a half to get back to Prescott. I was almost to Sedona before I realized, thank you for giving me the hearts and everything, you guys. Hearts, likes, boost me up the algorithms of Facebook, so thank you. Just keep hitting that little button, love that. It took us an hour and a half to get back to where we were going. And we got there, dinner had already started when we waltzed in. In fact, they were wrapping up dinner when we walked in. And I remember looking at this one person I know, she's a shaman, and saying, I am so sorry, you guys. I made you miss dinner, although I found out dinner really sucked, to be honest. And I felt bad, and she's like, where we were supposed to be. That's okay, because we had a great time talking. We really got to know each other. Nobody really noticed we were lost. I mean, they knew I was lost because I said, holy, hot dog, we're lost. But they said if you wouldn't have said anything, we wouldn't have known because we were having so much time just getting to know one another. And we are still friends to this day. So we formed a lifelong bond. And we were exactly where we were supposed to be. We weren't supposed to be at that supper because the food was awful. So we got to leave and not have to eat the food. We took a couple bites and pushed it aside and stop at a restaurant on our way back to the hotel and have a decent dinner. So it worked out marvelously for us. Universal timing. You can't fight time. Timing is what it is. So if you're caught up in traffic, do it whatever you want to do at that time. Listen to music, plan stuff out in your head, whatever you do, and just accept that you're supposed to be stuck in that traffic. And I know that concept's hard for people when bad things happen. It's like, well, if I would have left 5 minutes earlier, I wouldn't have gotten that accident. Or if I would have left 10 minutes later, I wouldn't have got held up by the big accident in front of me. But you didn't, because you weren't supposed to. So you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And just be fine with it. Just go with the process. Don't fight time. Don't, when is the perfect thing going to show up? When is the perfect job, the perfect whatever going to show up? It'll show up when you're ready. And if you're not ready, it doesn't show up. My book will be back from the editor when it's ready to be back. Now, I do have, in 2 weeks, I'll be away at a retreat for 3 days, and I made the comment to somebody, well, gosh, I hope it comes back either before the retreat or after, because if it comes before the retreat, I'm going to want to be looking at it while I'm at the retreat. But I can't do that because I have to stay present. I have to stay in the moment. So if it comes back right before the retreat, it's almost like a test. Am I willing to stay in the moment? Who knows? I guess I'll find out. Hopefully the book will be back next week, though. If it gets back next week, then I can look at it, make the corrections, see if we have anything else. You know, she's a professional, so I'm sure there's probably things out of place that in my mind flow, but to a person that hasn't read it, I mean, I've written this book for 4 or 5 years. So I absolutely know in a couple places the governor character has different names. I just can't find it. So I'm hoping she finds that. And then I have to print it, and then we'll start marketing it. You can pre-order it if you're on Facebook or on my website. You have a link to pre-order it. But I'll really be pushing that as I get closer to the published date of the book. But it's universal timing. And I went from somebody that used to be so time-oriented. I mean, if we were going to be somewhere and we had to be there at 2 o'clock, I'd be there at 1:50. If I had to be at the airport, I'm still kind of like this, but if I had to be at the airport by my flight's leaving at 10, I want to be there by 8. I was always obsessed with time, and it's taken me all these years to just mellow and just understand I'll get there when I get there. Now, I don't want to be late, because I do think people that are late are disrespectful of other people's time. But if something comes up that causes me to be late that's out of my power, it's out of my power. The universe wanted me to be wherever I was instead of where I was supposed to be. So keep that in mind when you're stressing out, when you're trying to get the kids to school, you're trying to get to work on time. If you're running late, there's a reason you're running late. There's a lesson. Everything is a lesson. Everything is for us to learn. So take a moment back. I mean, every night before I go to sleep, I reflect. What was the lesson today? What was I supposed to learn? What did I think I did well in? What areas do I think I did poorly in? Where did I get stressed but I shouldn't have got stressed? Where did I kind of lack off at? And then I just say, okay, I did the best I can. Because that's all you can do, the best you can. You do the best you can with what you got, and you move on. No regrets. No regrets serve, having regrets serves no one. No one. So have no regrets. You are where you are because that's where the universe wants you to be. Enjoy the ride. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.